All right, welcome back to the KC Sports Report. As always, I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm going to break down the Week 17 matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and your Kansas City Chiefs. Final score from Arrowhead Stadium, Chargers 38, Chiefs 21. The Kansas City Chiefs lose a tough game at home in Week 17 to move to 14-2 on the season. And following this game, it actually concludes the 2020 NFL season, and the Chiefs have the best record in the NFL, going 14-2, which in my opinion is pretty damn impressive. I mean, the Chiefs had a global pandemic to deal with, and through all the obstacles this year with a tough schedule and some injuries, going 14-2 is very impressive. You know, I could come on this video and just complain about how the offense looked flat under Chad Henne, but why would I do that? I mean, the 1 seed has already been locked up. The Chiefs rested all their starters today, and this game was meaningless. The Chargers won a meaningless game, and I think for the first time in a long time, the Chiefs played in a meaningless game. I think that under the circumstances, they played okay. I was really happy with how Darwin Thompson played. I think he was pretty impressive. He had 2 touchdowns today. Byron Pringle had a touchdown reception, and he had a very good play where it was a catch and run. He caught it and broke like 4 or 5 tackles, which was very impressive to me. But, I mean, Chad Henne did look pretty flat, and I still think that the Chiefs kind of hurt themselves. I mean, Mecole Hardman botched a punt return, just hit off his hands, and the Chargers recovered it in Chiefs territory. And unfortunately, I mean, Chad Henne is just a game manager at this point. He isn't really athletic, so when the Chiefs were backed up in their own end zone, he could not escape the pass rush, and he got sacked in the end zone for a safety. So, you know, there are some instances where I was kind of annoyed, but, I mean, what can I say? This is the Chiefs' second and third string guys, and to even be somewhat close in this game in the first half, to me was impressive. I know a lot of Chiefs fans wanted to win this game, but hey, we are focused all on the playoffs, because at the end of the day, that injury to DeAndre Baker, it could have been to our starters. I mean, prayers to DeAndre Baker. He suffered a pretty gruesome leg injury, and he had to get carted off. But that's why in Week 17, when you have everything locked up, that's why you play your backups. Because that could have happened to L'Jarius Sneed. That could have happened to Tyrann Mathieu. Or, God forbid, it happened to, like, Patrick Mahomes on offense. So I think that it's really unfortunate what happened to him, but that's why you play your backups. And the Chiefs were very lucky to escape this game with pretty minimal injuries besides that. Like I said, I hope he can come back. Baker actually looked pretty good in this game. He did have a sack, but that leg injury is going to be pretty tough to come back from. But, you know, like I said, the Chiefs are all in focused on the playoffs. I think that they've been kind of focusing at the playoffs since like Week 11, but I really think that this team needs to keep getting better because the Buffalo Bills, they look pretty good. Not saying that they're better than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs need to make sure that when they do play in the playoffs, that they're throwing out their A game because they did rest their starters today. And I don't know if that's going to come back to bite them, but now everybody's rested. And I don't think that you have any excuses come 2 weeks from now when the Chiefs play in the divisional round at home to lose that game. I don't care what team you play. The Chiefs are coming off of a bye. We know Andy Reid's record coming off of bye weeks, and they should win. But I know, again, we got to take it one game at a time. The Chiefs do have a bye week, which is pretty important. These guys can go home and get some rest, heal up for that big game, but there's not a lot to talk about from this game. I mean, I could talk about how the offense really didn't perform very well, but again, why would I do that? I mean, this is a game that really didn't mean anything in the long run, and it kind of just showed you how good Justin Herbert was. He had a very good day today, and Chad Henne just didn't. But I don't think that really anybody expected this Chiefs team to win. I know I said before the game that I was going to have my confidence in this team, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can only do so much with your backups. So all things considered, I think the Chiefs played okay. There were moments in this game that I was pretty annoyed, but there were also moments in this game that I think were very encouraging. The blitz packages that Spags drew up that got some of those cornerbacks able to hit the quarterback, that's important. You need to have a pass rush that can get to the quarterback. We saw Tim Ward, a backup defensive end, get a sack today. Alex Okafor also had a sack. So, I mean, we weren't able to rest everybody, but the guys that we weren't able to rest, I think they played pretty well. Juan Thornhill had a couple big hits. And all things considered, I think the Chiefs played well. I know that's probably not a hot take, or that's probably a hot take rather, because they did lose, but you're not always going to win every game. And especially when you're not playing your starters. I mean, really, realistically, what do we expect was going to happen? The Chargers were trying to win this game. I think that they were playing for pride at that point, and they wanted to win. And I think that the Chiefs have kind of checked out mentally. They're just, like I said again, they are focused on winning a Super Bowl. And that's why they rested their starters today, and they're just focusing all on getting towards the playoffs. Like I said, I really think that this team is good enough to win another championship, and that's the mark of how good this team's going to be, because I get it. We went 14-2, and that's a great way to end the regular season, but if you don't win a Super Bowl after going 14-2, it's disappointing. It's a disappointing season. So I think that the bar is set, and all this Chiefs team has to do is come out strong 2 weeks from now and execute. They're better than everybody else. We saw that all of this year. The Chiefs, even though they weren't playing their best football towards the end, they're just better than everybody else. And that's really tough to do. So again, the Chiefs do lose this meaningless game at Arrowhead Stadium to conclude the 2020 season by a final score of 38-21. But again, the Chiefs are focused on running it back. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, like and subscribe for more of the best Chiefs content on YouTube. You can also support the channel through the Patreon and follow us on Instagram. The links to those are in the description. You just listened to the KC Sports Report by Michael Darcy.